Hi, I used to be a night owl, and now I'm an early bird. I used to go to sleep around 2 to 4 a.m. and wake up between 10 and noon. So I slept about 8 hours usually. And and I always had a problem getting up in the morning, and it was always very difficult. And my mom would always say, "Oh, just go to bed earlier." Yeah, and then you go to bed earlier and you just sit there looking at the ceiling. And I know now what was going on. Me trying to be a night owl, it was like my way of protesting against the the world. Not some principled protest, a protest against culture, against society. I didn't feel like I would ever belong, and all the only it seemed like the hoops that it would take to join society, it wouldn't lead anywhere anyway, because like I said in previous videos, I felt like that I wasn't going to do anything with my life. And so I was pretty much already dead set that nothing was going to be happening. So why would I get up all early? What, just so I could be disappointed, have other people say, well, okay, you're up early, so now go ahead and hit the pavement and start looking for work or whatever, get that career going. By me getting up late, it was almost like I had like plausible deniability. Well, I'm up at noon. I I have my morning routine, which is afternoon routine, and by the time I'm ready to go, it's like 3 p.m. and it's kind of too late anyway. It's all some big rope a dope that my like it was like an evasive pattern in me. But then, and I was still a night owl for years, decades really. And then when I was, I don't know, 30 something, 33, 4, something like that. Actually, it was in 2005. I Something changed, and it was in part from actually smoking pot. I smoked pot. I kind of gave myself over to the pot, and I would wake and bake basically. And I kind of I was thinking, well, if I gave up on life, even though I didn't put it that way, I should at least be able to enjoy myself. And so I kind of leaned into cannabis, and I'd wake up and I'd hit it, and then like mid morning hit it, after lunch hit it, afternoon hit it, evening hit it, nightcap, and I would just go through that process for several months. And then something really amazing happened. I started just getting like really drowsy around 8 p.m. and I went to bed, and I got up and it was like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or something like that. And at this point in my life, I was thinking, you know what, this actually works out well. And at the time, I was living with my mom, and we were the only ones living in the house. And I could wake up and hang out with my mom. We didn't have a great relationship, but I was able to make her breakfast every morning, and I'm grateful that I had those years. And if that didn't happen, if I didn't switch from being a night owl to an early bird, I wouldn't have had like a good 5 solid years of mornings with my mom. And it just continued on. It wasn't always like 5 a.m. Often it would be like 9 a.m. But I'm at the point now where I actually set an alarm for 5 a.m. every day, and I usually wake up before that. This morning I woke up around 4:15, something like that. But I normally don't get out of bed right away. I just stay in bed and I enjoy rolling around in the bed, rolling over, kind of like snuggling up, looking at my phone. I'm still looking at screens. And it's by being able to be up in the morning, it's kind of given me more availability just to be in synchrony with the rest of society and the rest of people. I remember back when I was a night owl, if I had to be somewhere at 10 a.m., I'd be like, oh my God, that's just crazy early. Now it's like once a year I have to get up earlier than I normally would get up. So my husband, we have a business together, and we normally don't leave the house any later than 9 a.m. or any earlier than 9 a.m. So I wake up around 5, I get out of bed around 6. I got a few lazy hours to just have my really nice morning routine, and it's so amazing. I really love it. I remember my brother used to tell me about how great it is in the morning, but he had a whole different experience with life. But it is great now, and I really love it. And I used to wake up, like, shit, I'm awake. Damn it. Why can't I go back to sleep? I want to be able to go back to sleep, or I can't wait till I can go back to sleep tonight. I gotta wait for all these years, all these hours, so I can finally get back to sleep and get back to kind of like paradise, because I viewed sleep as like the best escape possible. But now I wake up and I'm like, yes, yes, especially when I get out of bed. Usually when I'm in bed, it's not so much of a celebration, but when I get out of it, just moving my body, all my body reports joy. It's so amazing. And then ultimately, when I finally get to sleep, I'm like, yes, yes, because I don't discount sleep. I love it. Sleep is sacred for me, and I make sure I allow 8 solid hours. I may not always get 8 hours, but I always allow for 8 hours, and I will blow off less important things. Like tonight, it's New Year's Eve. I'm not staying up till midnight just so I can like honk my horn or something. Screw that. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed at 9. And if I wake up and I hear fireworks or whatever, or horns or whistles or whatever, I'll be like, cool. And then I'll roll over and get back to sleep. Anyway, so that's a little thing on me going from a night owl to an early bird, and how important sleep is to me. All right, thanks for listening.